Hey guys, welcome to the session Ask Us Anything by Hustler Marketing. Like we said, this is a session to address all your questions and concerns around email marketing, SMS marketing, and more, all around in the context of Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend, which all of us know is a big time for e-commerce. And it's said that this time, this period of a weekend or a week is enough to fetch up to 80% of an e-commerce store's entire revenue. So we know this is important. And for the last 2 to 3 years, we've been doing webinars. We've done a lot of sessions on how to go about prepping because no amount of preps are enough for Black Friday, and every year things change. But this time we decided that we're gonna address the questions that you guys, e-commerce stores, usually come up with during this time and have nowhere else to go. So we put together a team of experts from our own from Hustler Marketing to answer those questions. Whoever can answer that question the best will take that question, and one by one, I will share the questions that we received over the questionnaire in the last 2 to 3 weeks. So welcome again, and hope this session brings a lot of value to you. And if anything, of course, we are there, just an email away. Feel free to ask us questions over email or just book a call with us. But for now, this session should be a handy preparation guide for your BFCM 2022. All right. So briefly, I want to introduce my amazing teammates who volunteered their time to do this. So let's get started with the introduction. So first up, we have Carrie, and I'll just pass the word to Carrie to introduce herself.
Thanks, Monica. My name's Carrie. I am from South Africa, and I am the head of copy at Hustler Marketing. I'm really excited to share some Black Friday tips and tricks with you all. I'll pass on to Danny, who can introduce herself next.
Thank you, Carrie. So I'm Danny. I'm from Mexico, and I am the design lead, which is basically I work with all of the designers, and we work really closely with Carrie's team to make the magic in the emails. I'm really happy also to be here, and I give the word to Laura.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Danny. I'm Laura from Colombia, and I've been an account manager like for 2 years, but I'm now working like in a sales department. So I can see a little bit more what are the necessities of the clients, and people are getting really excited about Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So I'm sure we can bring you some value to your store. So yes, I'm really excited to share what we have seen during the past years that have been working for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. I pass it to Stan.
Hey, I'm Stan. So similar to Laura, I've been working as an account manager for 4 years, and now in the sales department. And yeah, happy to answer any questions. And I give the word to Amit to speak next.
So my name is Amit. I'm from India, and I take care of R&D department in Hustler Marketing. And yeah, anything related to tech or anything which happening in the email tech side, I'll be able to answer. So looking forward to this session. Back to Monica.
Thank you, guys. And yes, so let's get started. So question one is one that comes up every single time, and a very interesting question. How do you make your emails stand out in the avalanche of Black Friday, Cyber Monday emails, especially from a copy and design perspective? I repeat, how do you make your emails stand out in the avalanche of BFCM emails during this time of the year? So I guess Carrie and Danny, you can share it between you as the heads of copy and design respectively.
Sure, absolutely. So I'll start off by answering, and then Danny, just chip in whenever you feel necessary. There's quite a few answers or different ways to answer this question. The first way that I think is something really important to remember is the fact that you are not advertising Black Friday. And I think this is a mistake or a trap that quite a few e-commerce stores fall into, is that they try and, or they kind of forget the fact that people know that it's Black Friday. Everybody knows it's Black Friday, and yet there's these huge banners and this huge airtime given to Black Friday, and that's a lot of where the copy is going to. Whereas you have such a short attention span and such a short space of time that you've got the attention for, you really shouldn't be promoting Black Friday. Your banner space, your subject lines, your content should be going to what is important and the crux of the matter, which is the offer. That is what the recipients are interested in. They want to know from you, what have you got for them? If they have signed up for your emails or your SMSs, they are interested in what you're going to be offering them on Black Friday, and that should be in the banner. That should be in the subject line. It should be that content of, here's what we've got for you. And a second point I would say is incredibly important is to personalize your copy, personalize your content, because they can just become this kind of like you called it an avalanche, and that's exactly what it is. It's just this fact of people just get content overload and it just becomes so impersonal. So just to remember to keep that copy incredibly personal, and alongside and tying in very importantly with that point is to stick to your brand's tone of voice. Don't suddenly go into this hyper overdrive, hard sales push copy, which again is incredibly tempting because it's Black Friday and we're trying to sell stuff. But just stick to what is your tone of voice and speak to your customers and your clients in exactly the same tone of voice that they are used to being spoken to, so that they can actually recognize you in that whole avalanche. They're like, oh, I know this brand. I recognize this brand. It's not getting lost in this whole sea of emails. So those are 3 points that I think can really help your emails to stand out amongst the crowd. And I'm sure Danny's got some design tips as well to share.
Yes, actually, I think it's really similar with all creative work. So for copywriting and design, basically the same thing. It's really easy to, Black Friday is already a brand itself. You can expect things that look a certain way. You can expect certain style in everything that you're going to receive during that season. So it's really important that we make the product our main character, and that we are, working, as Carrie said, like enhancing everything that has to do with your product, everything that has to do with the discount you're giving away, and not really focusing on Black Friday itself. Also, it's really easy to fall into cliches. I don't know if you've noticed, but basically 90% of what you're getting this season is all black emails, black and white, really monochrome tones. So what we're trying to encourage within our team is to think outside of the box and to apply other ideas and to be different than the rest of the people and the rest of what others are doing. So yeah, basically the main tip is stand out, give the main character, which is your product, the spotlight, and be yourself. Don't lose your essence as a brand within the whole Black Friday mayhem going on. So yeah, that's basically what our tips are. Really similar, but that's basically what we suggest to do.
Great. Thanks, Carrie and Danny. Great points indeed. And if you look at the screen, those are some of the Black Friday emails that we've designed over the years. And as you can see, even though they are all Black Friday and promotional and colorful, they never really veer too far from what the other actual emails, what the other normal emails from those brands look like. So yeah, but I have seen some brands go completely off track on Black Friday and their emails look nothing like their own brand. So very important point is stick to your own brand while keeping it all BFCM theme-like. All right, great. So moving on to the next question. Also very important, as you all know, BFCM is all about deals and more deals, and everybody just wants to grab their customer share of the wallet from all the deals that are available. So the question is, what are the most attractive / eye-catching deals to offer over BFCM? For example, a % off or 3 for 2 or anything else you guys recommend. Laura, would you like to take this?
Sure, yeah. I actually personally really like one promotion, which is basically a combination of a percentage and also the order value of what you're ordering, like kind of increasing the order value of your or the products that you're getting. So ideally, someone can do like a bundle. So let's say if you're selling like a product that only costs $20, maybe you can create a bundle and then offer a promotion based on that, right? So if you spend $100 in our products, then you can get a discount, and then that discount can increase based on the amount of products that you buy, and then you will see better conversions that way, and also increase in revenue for sure. So that's one of my favorites, and it's also you can also do like percentage based on different categories of products according to like the ROI that it produces to you. So yeah, those are like the ones that I would recommend.
Okay. And does anybody have another take, since we have so many AMs and I'm sure
Yeah.
Okay. Stan,
Yeah,
please.
so a good example is what we see on the screen for BlendJet, where it says buy one and get 15% off, buy two, get 20, and buy three, get 25% off. So that's what we call a ladder offer. So that's what worked really well in my experience, especially if there's a one winner product or a store that is focused on one product like BlendJet. You want people to buy more, you want them to buy them as gifts for other people. So that's what works really well. And other than that, the offers, I would just say it's a lot also about segmentation. So if you can do something like an early birds deal, then that segment would be much more profitable than any other segment that you have. And they can have a very easy and simple offer as well. You can give them a flat percentage or do a ladder deal just with higher numbers. And that usually converts the best.
Okay, so could you give an example of this segment? Let's say we have an email and you taking a segment, what would you do for that segment?
Well, for example, about a month before the planned Black Friday sale, I would invite all of my email list to join a special list called the Early Bird list. So I would make a landing page where they can opt in, and I would send invitation emails. Also, I would tell the client to push cold traffic to the same landing page, so they would get new early birds and early birds from their existing email list. When we get enough of them, of course, the offer would be get on this list and get VIP treatment. So get early access to the deal, get the highest discounts we can give, get other like different perks of being on that list, and then do a pre-sale where you basically hype them up. So you give them content, you tell them what are the benefits of being on that list, you give them the timing when they need to be active and when they need to buy to make sure that they get all of the perks that they're promised. And when the sale starts, for example, 3 to 5 days before you open the sale to everyone, open it just for that early bird list, and it will convert like crazy.
I think I will add on that point to that is that on Black Friday, you're not the only brand which will be sending the emails, right? So it's very important that whatever your ideal audience, which is looking for the deals from your brand, they should star mark your email so that anytime you send an email, your email will be in the top 5 in the Gmail or Outlook, right? So it's very, very important that whatever you are sending, they should be able to see that, because on a Black Friday itself, there will be like at least 100 emails they will receive from the other brands. So on 50,000 or 100K as a profile, you should be focusing on 500,000 which are really looking forward to listen from your brand or the deals. And that actually will give you much more conversion rate compared to targeting a much higher list and just burning up your deliverability. So yeah, I totally agree that that we should be preparing for VIP list.
Great. Great, Stan and Amit. I think those are very important points. Segmentation and offering personalized deals to different segments. Also, one thing I know you guys know that there are these Reddit groups which discuss BFCM deals. Like, hey guys, did you find anything? Did you find anything? And it's usually like the craziest deals that get mentioned over there. So I think it's worth saying, as obvious as it sounds, that have something unique, right? If you're offering 10 to 20% every day anyway, via your welcome discount or the spin the wheel discounts or whatever it is, then your BFCM cannot be the same discounts. It has to be outlandish. So yes, if you can afford to go as high as say 50% off or 60% off, and you don't have to offer 50-60% off on every product that you have, but you can like use that to lure the people in, sort of like a headliner, and then within the email body you could possibly have like a small dot that it's not on everything but 60% on a few things, maybe your clear in stock, and then rest everything slightly higher than regular stocks. What do you guys think about that?
I completely agree. I think that there was quite a lot of backlash last year looking at, when we've looked into what people thought about the Black Friday trends last year, from customers saying, so many of the offers they got from Black Friday 2021 was just kind of a rehash of sales and discounts and offers that they were getting throughout the year. And they wait all year for this. People wait all year for this event, and they don't want to feel like they've been duped in any way. So I completely agree. And I think that's a really good point, Monica, that people want to feel that they're getting something unique, that this is like a once in a year kind of occasion. And exactly, even if it's one key product that draws them in, and then the rest, is not such fabulous offers. But there definitely needs to be something different happening on Black Friday that you don't offer the rest of the year. Otherwise, it's just, you might get a bit of backlash.
Yes, absolutely. Great. All right. So unless anybody has anything more to add on to this, we will move on to the next question. Okay, this is a very interesting question. Okay, so the question goes, since we all know that Black Friday is usually associated with campaign emails or one-off emails, this question says, how can you make use of your automations or flows over the BFCM period? Or should you only be focusing on campaign sends? And I think this is a topic close to our team's heart, because we do always talk about how flows should be an essential part of BFCM too, but I'll just let you guys chip in on that. So would anybody would like to take a stab at this one? So I think one of the things that I have seen done within our emails is that even when it comes to flows, a lot of flows are customized for BFCM running up to the period. So for example, a flow like say a welcome email or even your regular post-purchase emails start carrying a BFCM banner that with their regular promotion about BFCM. So if it's just a regular welcome email on other times of the year leading up to BFCM, it could also be for example, it's a welcome email, but you could say that since BFCM is approaching, get an additional 20% off other than the welcome discount, or join the VIP list. That's something that I've seen a lot of brands do. A month or two before BFCM, they start having this banner asking certain segments to join the VIP list, so that when BFCM rolls around, you can be prepared to receive those special offers and discounts. So I think that's where flows come into the picture. And yeah, if there's anything else, any specific flows that are BFCM related, then let's hear that.
I'm not an expert on flows, but I think one that comes to mind is definitely the cart abandon flow needs to get, comes to the front on the forefront during Black Friday. And I think that's one where you can, maybe someone can add a bit more here, but you can definitely shorten the time limit here of sending that email. And from the time that somebody actually abandons that cart to the time that you actually send out that email, there should be kind of a quicker turnaround time at Black Friday, because there needs to be that sense of urgency with these Black Friday deals because they are so limited. And I'm sure there's somebody more equipped to speak on that, but that is something that comes to mind for me, is that the cart abandon flow can definitely be more of a powerful and effective flow during the Black Friday period.
Yeah, Laura. Thanks, Carrie.
Yeah, I also think that the welcome flow is a really important one for sure. And like I think in your website, it should kind of scream that it's Black Friday everywhere. So you have to update your pop-up, and maybe if you're doing different promotions on every week, you should like change your pop-up and create a pop-up based on the pros that you're offering for a specific week, and then start targeting, maybe create a new welcome flow with, let's say, 3 to 4 emails focus on that specific product or in that category, right? So I think the welcome flow is definitely one of the ones that need to be updated, but also you can implement like a small banner that is announcing that Black Friday is here, or the promotion that you're getting every week on Black Friday.
Yeah, Danny, go ahead. Thanks, Laura.
Yeah, I wanted to add something that Laura said before. Something that I suggest as a designer is that you personalize and, you know, make it seem like in all your channels that you have that it's Black Friday. Usually we add, as Laura said, a temporary banner for the flows. So when the people you know, subscribe during the season, they get reminders on the flows as well. So they will get the campaigns, but they will also get a reminder, like a slight reminder on the flows. Also, this makes it, you know, this gives the hype instead of, you know, when you're getting the flows, they are already hyping up because they usually include discounts, but getting like a slight reminder that you get probably a bigger discount because of the season is going to improve your sales as well.
Great. Thanks, Danny. So yeah, to reiterate, make use of all your existing flows, add BFCM specific messaging with the help of banners, but be very careful to remove those once BFCM is over, because you might just end up running those throughout the year. And I've seen that happen. So be very careful there. You want to set up reminders and tasks for yourself to do that. And another thing is that, yes, even your welcome flows could start gathering your list, include the BFCM messaging to join the early bird list through your pop-ups and welcome emails. So yes, don't just rely on campaigns, because campaigns will get ignored while BFCM rolls around as more and more brands clamor for the inbox. All right, cool. So thank you for that. And next question, personal favorite of mine always. What are some of the new technologies and trends that can be made use of this time around during the BFCM period? So I would request Amit to take this question, as he's somebody who works in the R&D department and they're always researching on newer ways to do email. So Amit, all yours.
Yeah, I think there are very exciting things are happening in the email industry. The biggest change which is happening is that AMP email, which is a new kind of email. So if you look at email from a very outer point of view, that right now it only takes clicks, right? So if you click on a button, you will get redirected to a website. It cannot take input from a user, right? If I want to know what kind of product and what kind of color do you want for that product, it cannot take those inputs right now. So those things are getting changed in the email. So there's a new kind of email called AMP email, so which can take user input. That means, like, if I want to take a review for my product, you don't have to leave an email to give me a review for a product. Or let's say if I want to know what kind of color or what kind of size of a t-shirt do you want, right? And I can take those inputs right there in the email, and I can redirect you to the product which has all those variation already taken by the user input. So it's a very, very strong thing happening in the email industry. And we are quite working towards that also inside Hustler Marketing. We are also implementing for some of clients, and hopefully you'll get very good reviews. So this is one change which is happening, and hopefully by the next year we will have very good example going forward for all of our clients. So second thing which I would like to talk about is iOS 15 changes. So as I think most of our email marketing members know, that iOS 15 has started reporting opens for every email they receive. So it becomes very important that we should move away from open-based engagement to a click-based engagement, because normally when people think about Black Friday, they think that we should blast entire list, right? And we'll get more revenue. So that's not true, actually. So you should be at the peak of your deliverability when it's coming for a Black Friday. That means your segmentation should be very precise, and your open rate should be actually more than the average. Because if you are not hitting a good open rate, you will never land into primary. And if you're not landing into primary, that means you already lost the battle when it comes to email, right? Because there will be 100 of emails to tackle or see on a Black Friday site. So the third point, which brings me to segmentation part, right? So right now, I think most of people are still doing a old segmentation, which says open in X days or 30 days or 60 days. They should move from open-based segmentation to more of an engagement-based segmentation. That means, have they clicked on your email? Have they visited your website? Have they browsed your product or initiated its checkout, rather than relying on an open, because your open data is entirely malicious now, considering that iOS is pushing fake opens to your database. So these are three important changes which are happening, and very exciting time when it comes to email industry. So going forward in BFCM, I guess segmentation would be a key, and you should be focusing and you should be at the peak of your deliverability when it comes to email deliverability.
Great. Thanks, Amit. Very exciting times for email indeed. So just to reiterate, Amit talked about interactive emails, which I think is brilliant, because then it reduces the friction between going to the site to do all of these things. And we all know sites crash all the time during BFCM. So we want to try to do as much action within the email inbox and then take it from there. And if I'm not wrong, Amit, AMP allows you to check out within the email.
Yes, you can. In Shopify, you can initially start the checkout directly. You can take the input and directly push a customer to a checkout page. And there are a lot of players who are also developing a solution where we can take a credit card information inside the email and also pay for the order. So you don't have to even visit the website to place an order for a client. So these are development which are in the places for AMP, and we will know more about it, I think, in coming 3-4 months.
That's great. I mean, really looking forward to this. Have we started pushing out any emails or no?
Yes, we have tried out with few clients. We have seen quite a very good engagement when it comes to AMP email, but I guess once we go more into deeper, and once more industry develop in the AMP email, we'll get to see more case studies. But currently, I think AMP email is the future of email, in my opinion.
That really changes the game, right? So that's like email plus landing page all at the same place. So
absolutely. So because if you look at from a broader point of view, right now you're driving a traffic to your website, and then the user has to take some action to place an order, right? What if I can replicate the entire experience on email itself, right? So that will be a really amazing from a user point of view and from a brand point of view also. So we can do quite a lot on AMP email compared to what we have right now on starting.
All right, that sounds interesting. And we will keep you in touch as and when we have something AMP related. I'm pretty sure that we're going to do sessions about it, and feel free to book a call with us to know more. Second thing Amit said is iOS 15. As you all know, that due to the privacy push of Apple, all the emails are going to be classified as open. So you really don't want to go by that open metric anymore, unless you can seclude your iPhone users, I guess, and then isolate them and then look at your opens. But then I think most of the US is on iOS, so that's not also going to give you a very accurate figure. So like Amit said, focus on segmentation and focus on metrics other than opens, like click, actual revenue, actual clicks coming from the email. All right, but having said that, this is about the technology, but as always, design does the heavy lifting when it comes to Black Friday. And if there's one thing that we definitely pride ourselves on over at Hustler Marketing, it's our emails for also for the rest of the year, but especially during Black Friday. I think a design team just goes into an overdrive and comes alive. So I'm gonna give the mic to Daniela here, who heads the design, and I want to know what are you thinking, Danny, this time of doing with emails. In the past, we've seen so much brilliance, so much artwork happening within the inbox. What is your team thinking of this year?
So basically what we're trying to do is that to overdo ourselves every year. I know it's hard because the designers do such a great job, and overall all of the creatives, like every year it gets better and better. We try to actually Carrie and I have been working on this, and we try to make them prepared and feeling involved in the process of Black Friday, Cyber Monday from even a month before. So they know what's coming, they know the trends. We even analyze previous years to see what can be improved, what worked, what didn't, because sometimes you can see a really beautiful email and it doesn't make as many sales as it should, right? So sometimes the reasons really vary, but sometimes it has to do with design or with creative work overall. So we try to tackle these things every year. We learn from what we have done before, and usually we try to focus on the specific clients that each brand has. So for example, if you have a very youthful brand which is targeted to Gen Z, you know, people, you have to be addressed to them. You cannot really be working as if you're sending stuff to 40-year-olds. So we try to make the study, really study what the client is about, what the brand is about, what their values are, and go with the essence, but without losing the sight of who you're selling to. That's the most important thing. So using things that are trending for them is a great way to really get to them to buy your product and make a purchase during this season. I think Carrie has some stuff to add as well, as we work together quite often, so we know the drill related to creative work.
Sure, I can add some comments. So often what I love is that when Danny and I comment on a similar topic, it's like we're kind of just reiterating what the other person says. But I think that's awesome. I think it shows how closely our departments work, and I think that shows how we produce such good work, because you can't really produce good work unless the copy and the design are working well together and are kind of on the same page. So I think my points would be very similar to what Danny's saying, and just how what we've been doing as departments is getting our copy and our design on the same page, and just making sure that they are heading in the same direction, that they are very well prepared for Black Friday, that we have trained them. You can never learn enough about Black Friday. You can never, at Hustler, we know so much about Black Friday. We are so well prepared, and yet we can constantly learn, we can constantly kind of grow in this area, and that's what we've been focusing on, is just equipping our teams and trying to just make sure that the copy and the design is going to be sharper than ever this year, and putting all the skills and the tools and the kind of things in place to make sure that that's going to happen. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I think it's going to be an awesome season for us and our clients.
Absolutely. Thanks, Danny and Carrie. Absolutely. I myself am looking forward to all the BFCM crazy emails we're going to do. And for all of you guys watching, you want to follow us on Instagram, because we'll be uploading some of the best emails in the run up to BFCM and even during. So if you're lacking inspiration or just could do with more ideas, do keep a lookout. All right. And fun fact, like Carrie said, that these emails are really, really important, because like I said, they are responsible for a chunk of your revenue, believe it or no. Fun fact, last year we did about 65 million in revenue just from BFCM across about 60 clients. So let's say each client on average made a little over 1 million over just a period of a week. And if most brands are around 1 to 2.5 million, then you can imagine how much of that 1 week of BFCM emails and SMS combined do for your brand. So, all right. So, very important question up next is, of course, everybody wants to, wants the answer to this is, when is the right time to start your BFCM promotions? I repeat, when is the right time to start pushing out BFCM messaging and deals? Would anybody like to take a stab at this? Or I can actually, okay, Stan, sure, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I wanted to say it depends on your strategy. So if you're doing early birds and you want to hype up that deal, get people on that list, then you should start inviting people to that list maybe 3 or 4 weeks before you planned out to open the sale. Now, when you open the sale, it can be a few days before the actual Black Friday, or it can be a few weeks before the actual Black Friday. It just depends what you want to try to do. Sometimes some brands do it before, so because they want to be the first and they want to avoid that that crazy busyness in people's inboxes. So sometimes they do it like almost a month before. I personally haven't done it like that. Most of the times, so for Black Fridays, I've been doing this. So I think all of them were starting for early bird. So maybe I opened the sale like 5 days before the actual Black Friday, and then I opened the sale for early birds maybe 3 to 4 days before that. So I usually have done it like that. And it is pretty busy, but also you know that people are on the lookout for the Black Friday offers. If you send it to them beginning of November, it won't be busy, but people won't be on the lookout. Except if you move everything a month before and you start hyping them up, getting your early birds. So then I guess you can do it like that. Maybe in theory, that would even be ideal. If you want to move it, let's say in the second week of November instead of the fourth week of November to open the actual sale, and then you start getting your early birds like a month before and hyping everyone up, sending the pre-sale content and everything. So then people who are active, who are opening your emails, they know that your sale is coming 2 weeks before, and you would avoid the busyness in the inboxes. So in that case, maybe you can try it like that. I personally have done it, as I said, pretty close to actual Black Friday.
Great. That makes a lot of sense, Stan. So also I want to add to this is, other than your store's own strategy, you also want to look at the current economic scenario and your own supply chain. So for example, if you are a retailer that ships their products from overseas, mostly China or other countries, then you want to make sure you're giving enough time between shipping of your products, which could be anything between 1 month. So then you want to like keep that into mind and start your promotions well before 1 month leading up to BFCM. So this year, Black Friday is on November 25th. So which is slightly over 2 months from now. Let's say your shipping takes a month, and the whole point of Black Friday is that, you know, those the products that people are shipping are for Thanksgiving. So they should arrive well within that time, plus leaving a little bit of margin for returns if needed. So then you want to make sure you actually start your promotions well before 1 month, which could be as soon as early October, mid-October. Second thing is, as we all know, beginning since last year, we've been facing, retailers across the world are facing supply chain issues. And that's because of the pandemic after effects and whatnot, and ships are getting log jammed. And that's causing a lot of delays. Some of our biggest retailers have faced delays in their products reaching in time. So you want to factor that in as well. And my next point kind of ties back to that is, whatever your reason for starting an early promotions are, you want to be honest about, transparent about it with your audience. For example, you can say, hey, you guys have to order now in order for your product to reach you by Thanksgiving. So that really kind of like creates that, you know, that urgency, which is not fake, it's a genuine urgency. So you want to bake that in. Second thing is, other than you know, supply chain, you could also think about, for example, if you're doing a phased campaign. A lot of our a lot of the clients that we work with do a campaign leading up to Black Friday. For example, they will highlight different products. If you are a multi-product store, then you want to highlight, suppose, dedicate 1 week to a product. In that case, you want to start building up your inventory weeks in advance. So like week countdown, sort of like a countdown. So so product number 10 in this week, this much % off. So if you want to do something like that, then of course you want to start. So it's never too early for BFCM. If not push out the actual campaigns, at least start gathering all your materials. In the front end, you want to have your copy, of course, first everything is about strategy and copy and design follow. But then on your back end, you also want to make sure that you have the inventory you're promoting, you have the shipping system in place to make sure these reach, and everything else that your site is strong enough to take the load on the day you're promoting the biggest sale and things like that, because these are the things that often stores sometimes miss, because their 1 point agenda becomes, okay, what is the most attractive offer we can go to the market with, and then you're not able to fulfill, and nothing is worse than over promising and under delivering. So keep that in mind as well. Would anybody like to add anything to that? All right. So the next question is one of my favorites. It is, what are some of the trends, or rather the themes, or overarching themes of 2022 that could be leveraged during the Black Friday period? And I'll take this personally because I think it's a topic close to my heart. So not just Black Friday, but I think emerging trend in social, in every kind of e-commerce selling right now is 3 pillars, which is sustainability, transparency, also honesty. So a lot of brands are now trying to highlight their, for example, one of the things is carbon footprint. Everybody knows that e-commerce, whether you like it or no, does contribute a lot to your carbon footprint in terms of all the containers and the shipping and the flights involved. So a lot of brands are trying to go carbon neutral, which is they promise that they will do as much for recycling as they consume by way of shipping. So if you're a brand that cares about sustainability, or you want to care about sustainability, now is a good time. An emerging trend or a sentiment amongst users is that Black Friday, for all its good deals and everything that it brings, it also is consumeristic hell, right? You do end up buying a lot of products that you don't need. It just creates like this materialistic society, which we as e-commerce marketers may have our problems with, but you can't help shake off this feeling. So as a brand, much as you want to push sales, you also want to make sure that you do it in a very ethical and sustainable way. Don't push a lot of products just for the sake of it. Highlight everything you have in place to make it a sustainable shipping option, that your products are sustainable, and they're not just going to end up in trash 2 days after Black Friday, just so to have pushed that sale 2 days ago. So yeah, that's one thing. And again, transparency and honesty. Like I said before, you need to be very clear to your audience when the products are expected to ship. Last year, we did face a lot of issues where we started early bird for a lot of brands, and then come November, they were not able to fulfill, and then they had to send a lot of damage control later, sending out corrective emails about when they can expect to receive their shipments, and we're sorry, and all of that. And all of that is well and good. Of course, you should do that, but it would be better if you're just transparent with your audience about when exactly to expect their shipments, so that they can plan. Honesty about returns. As you all know, returns, just like e-commerce sales, returns go into an overdrive during Black Friday. There are reports that say up to 40% of products purchased over Black Friday are returned. Returns are not a happy thing for retailers. I think it's honestly a nightmare, especially during Black Friday, because you may have correct systems to ship out the products, but returns is a whole different ball game altogether. So be very transparent and honest about if returns are acceptable, if returns have come with any caveats, if returns are not at all entertained. So because a lot of purchasing decisions actually depend on a consumer's ability to return them, and you don't want to again promise returns but actually not have a system in place. So for example, sending return labels along with every product that you ship makes it easier, or suppose they can do an in-store return. So make that a part of your emails. And it's also a good sales strategy. If every email came with 3 simpler options to make a return, then that also like helps the user lean more towards buying, because it's fairly a risk-free purchase for them. or some retailers have this return policy where they won't refund the cash, but they will maybe credit some cashback points or credits to your account. So again, that is something that needs to be made very clear, because they don't want to wake up to the root shock that they purchase something worth $500 only to have like 500 gift points sitting in their account. So yeah, those are things that I think are important, but I'm happy to hear anything other than that when it comes to overarching trends or themes or sentiments around BFCM.
I can jump in. I would like in every single area, and I think this puts all together in the same place, is that you need to study the trends, because if you don't understand what's going on within, your specific expertise, then you have anything to work with. So I'm sure there's, as I mean before, there's a lot of things going on in the R&D department. He's really aware of it. In the sales department as well. Laura used to be an AM, and I worked with her before, so I'm sure I know because I worked with her that she did study what was going on in terms of trends. So of course, in every area, the trends are really different, but I think it's really important to keep them always in mind and to put them in our emails. So yeah, that's something that I wanted to point out, that it's basically what we do and what we try to do before Black Friday and Cyber Monday within our teams.
Thanks, Danny. So I think that's all the questions we have today. A few takeaways would be, if you are an e-commerce store, and you have an email marketing agency or even a team, work very closely with them and have a lot of meetings before them, outlining your strategy, including everything about who you're gonna promote to, what are you promoting, what is your discount like, and also the things we mentioned later on about shipping, returns, delivery timelines, and all of that, and then come up with a comprehensive campaign, which of course is good looking, has great offers, has great copy, but is also technically, ethically, and as a product very strong. Anyway, these are all the questions that we have time for now. We are of course very happy to take them over email, or you can actually book a call with our team, and we'll be happy to go on a 15 to 30-minute call with you guys and take you through what we as a company can do for you in terms of Black Friday. We're also running a limited time offer for Black Friday for new as well as old clients who want to just make use of us during this time. As you know, your teams can get overwhelmed and you can't create all those extra emails. So get in touch with us for the special email. And maybe Laura, you could speak to what the promotion around BFCM is.
Yeah, I think we have amazing packages for Black Friday. So yeah, if you guys are interested, you should definitely book a call with our team, and we'll be happy to help you and find out what is the best strategy for your store.
Yes, and we've been doing that for like many Black Fridays, where we've taken on clients just before for this particular project, and then it makes a lot of sense to have a special team just for this intense time of the year. So with that, we're just gonna wrap up the session in about a minute. I just want to thank my team, Carrie, Danny, Amit, Laura, and Stan, for all your insights and answers that I hope that hopefully quelled all your concerns and questions about this period. Feel free to go to our website www.hustlermarketing.com. We have a ton of content around BFCM and otherwise about email marketing and SMS marketing. Do check it out. Go to our YouTube and you will find 2 webinars that we did last year about Black Friday, where we actually presented strategies that you can make use of that year. And we also have a ton of case studies where we talk about how some brands literally 10x their revenue in this period. So there is a ton of content out there to get started on your BFCM preps right away. And remember, 25th is the key date, which is when Black Friday is. But then there's Cyber Monday, and there's Thanksgiving, and there's a lot of like the Cyber Week following that, and pre-Cyber. So it just evolves every year. And what I've noticed is the Black Friday sale just keep getting pushed further and further, not pushed, rather pull advanced. So if retailers were promoting Black Friday in that particular week, now they're doing it even weeks and months in advance. So know what your store needs and just get started. All right, on that note, wish you all a very, very successful BFCM season. And yes, do feel free to get in touch with us. Thank you guys. See you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.